There are many ways to identify the customer exits. Let us go one by one. So first what I have to do is, in which transaction I need to implement this enhancement inside the transaction what XD01. So see the technique here. First thing I need to do is I need to check whether SAP has provided any customer exit in this particular transaction. I repeat once again, this is very important. Identification itself is a 90% of job. Implementation is only 10%. The logic which we implement might be just 10%. But identifying the suitable one is the main important thing here. No one will give us that information ready-made. Okay, we need to identify that. The developer has to identify that. Okay, so what I'll do now is I want to check whether any SAP has provided any customer exit in this particular transaction. Okay, so how do you identify the customer exits? There are many ways. Let us discuss one by one. So first I'll go to what? SE93. Try to understand. The first thing I need to do is, this is technique one. Technique one for identifying what? The customer exit. What is that? Identify what? The main program of the transaction. Identify the main program of the transaction. What is the main program? What is the transaction here? XD01. Then the next step is identify the package of the main program. Identify the package of the main program. Then what you have to do in SE84, we need to search for what? We need to search for customer exits in the package. So this is technique one. Again, we have another technique also that we'll discuss later on. So let us go step by step. What is the first step here? Identify the main program of the transaction. So one of the way to identify the main program of the transaction is, already we know we have the T code what? SE93. Okay, so we can use this T code for creating what? Our own T code. So I'll go to SE93. So as of now, we are working with what? Standard T code. What is the standard T code here? XD01. So I'll give the transaction code as XD01. Okay, I'll click on display. Done. You can see here, it is showing me the package here. What is the package here? VS. But what is my requirement? I need to identify the package of the program, not the package of the transaction. Sometimes what happens is, in some cases, the package of the transaction and the package of the program might be same. I repeat, in some cases, the package of the transaction code and the package of the program might be same. But let us not rely on this. So first step is what? Identify the main program of the transaction. So what is the program name it is showing here? SAP MF02D. So I am in SE93. I provided my T code where I need to do the implementation of the enhancement. Then I clicked on display. I got the program name SAP MF02D. Now what you have to do, the second step is what? Identify the package of the program. So how do I identify? Let me double click on this program. It will take the control to that program. What is the program name here? SAP MF02D. So for this program, I need to identify the package. How do you identify? Choose the menu what? Go to attributes. Okay, I'll choose the menu, go to attributes. What is the package name here? VS. Okay, so the package of the T code and the package of the main program are what? Same in this case. But it will not be same every time. That's the reason always try to follow this navigation. In SC93, provide your required T code, click on display, it will display the program name, navigate to this program by double clicking. Then for this program, I'll choose the menu, go to attributes, I got the package name VS. So once a package is identified for the main program, what is the next step now? In SC84, I'll go to what? SC84. Business Repository Information System. So I'll go to SC84. Okay, done. So in SC84, there you can see now. In SC84, we have what? Enhancements here. We have a node called as enhancements. Okay, let me just expand these enhancements. Right, we have baddies, business add-ins, and we have what? Customer exits. Let me expand this customer exits. Yeah, we have something called as enhancements. Just double click on this. Done. It is asking for what? Package name. What is the package we identified? VS. So provide your package name. Click on what? Execute. So when I click on execute, it will display me the customer exits available in this particular package. So here, what is the T code? This is a package related to the program of which T code? XZ01. So a transaction might contain n number of customer exits, n number of baddies. As of now, we are concerned with what? Customer exits only. So let me click on what? Execute button. Okay, when I click on execute button, yeah, you can see here what is the exit name it is showing. What is the exit name it is showing? SAP MF 02D. SAP MF 02D is the exit name. So in this case, the program name as well as the what exit name are what same. It need not be same. In this case, it is same. Okay. And one more thing you have to understand is it is showing you only what it is showing me only what one customer exit. It is showing me only one customer exit, but going forward we will search the exits in some other package also. It might show n number of customer exits, but in this case it is showing only what one customer exit. What is the customer exit? SAP MF02D. SAP MF02D. Okay, so I repeat this. We have identified the main program of the transaction. What is the transaction here? In this case, the transaction is what? XD01. And what is the program we identified? SAP MF02D. Yeah, SAP MF02D. Then we identified the package of the main program. What is the package we got? The package got VS. Then in SC84, we are searching for what? We are searching for what? Customer exits in the package. Okay, so when I search for customer exits, it is showing me only what one customer exit. What is that customer exit? SAP MF02D. So in this case it is showing me only one customer exit, and the customer exit name and the program name are what same. So don't think that every time it is same. Okay, going forward we'll see it in other transactions. It might show me n number of customer exits with different names. In this case, SAP has provided only what one customer exit. Okay, I got the customer exit, but I don't know whether this is suitable for my requirement or not. I don't know whether this is suitable for my requirement or not. So what I have to do, I need to identify the components of this particular customer exit. Okay, when I say components of customer exits can contain what? Function exits, menu exits, and what? Screen exit. Now, before we go to that point, what is our requirement here? While creating the new customers, industry key should be made mandatory for what? Indian customers. So our requirement is what here? I need to impose what? Additional validation. So I need to search for what? Function exit. Because what is the job of function exit? We can use function exit for imposing what? Customer specific validations. Okay. We can use function exit for imposing customer specific validations. Okay, I need not check for menu exits, because what is the purpose of menu exit? It is used for plugging what? Additional menu items. What is the job of screen exit? We can use it for plugging what? Additional fields. So here our case is what? We are not going to add any additional menu items. We are not going to add any additional fields. On the existing standard fields only, we are trying to impose what? Additional validation. So I need to search for what? Function exit. So these things are very important. No one will give this information ready made. It is a job of the developer, okay, to identify what we need to search for. So I'm searching for what? Customer exit. In that customer exit, I need to look for what? Function exit, because I need to impose what? Additional validation. Okay, I got the customer exit, but I don't know whether this customer exit is suitable for my requirement or not. So related to every customer exit, we have some two important T codes. One is S mod, another is what? C mod. Okay, related to every customer exit, we have two transaction codes, SMOD and what? CMOD. We can use SMOD, we can use SMOD T code to identify what? To identify the components of customer exits and reading what? Documentation. And reading the documentation. We can use the T code CMOD for what? Implementation. So what are the business logic you want to plug, that we can do it as part of what? CMOD. SMOD is used for what? Identifying the components of what? Customer exits, and for reading the documentation. Okay, I got the customer exit name. What is it? SAP MF02D. So in this customer exit, what I have to do? I need to check for what? Whether this customer exit is having what? Function exit or not. So what you have to understand is, every customer exit, every customer exit may contain what? Function exit, menu exit, and what? Screen exit. Or some customer exit may contain only function exit. Or some customer exit may contain only what? Function exit and what? Menu exit without screen exit. So there is no guarantee that, there is no guarantee that every customer exit will contain all these three things. A customer exit may contain all these three things, or a customer exit may contain either of these things. That is the understanding. So I need to check what are the components available. So what is the T code? SMOD is a T code. Okay, done. So I'm going to SMOD. So I'll quickly repeat this process. How to identify the customer exits in any transaction. Okay, so one second. The server is slow here. Yeah, I'll come to that point, Mahesh. Yes. Most of the people will have a confusion between user exit and what? Customer exit. But whatever we are discussing now is what? It's customer exit, but they gave the description of what? User exit. No. Okay. It is not user exit, it is basically what? Customer exit only. Okay. So the difference between user exit and customer exit we'll understand later on. But in the entry point of view, say that you worked on what? Customer exits, baddies, and enhancement framework. Don't use the word user exits. User exits, I can say it's a kind of outdated, and user exits is not recommended by what? SAP, and user exits are available only for what? SD module, not for all the modules. Okay, so there is a difference between user exit and customer exit that you'll understand only after a couple of classes. Okay, so one second, let me go back. Server is very slow. Okay, so I repeat this process. How to identify the customer exit? First, go to SC93. In which T code you have to identify the customer exit? In our case, XD01. Okay, so I'm providing the T code what? XD01, because my requirement is related to which T code? XD01, for creating what? New customers. Let me display it. For this T code, it is showing me the program name. Navigate to this program by double clicking. It takes the control to that program. Now in this program, choose the menu, go to attributes. It is showing me the package name .vs. Once we identified the package of the main program, okay, go to the T code what? SC84. Go to the T code SC84, and in this SC84, under enhancements, expand this customer exits. Double click on this enhancements. Provide the package name. What is the package name? VS. So when I execute, it might show me 0 or 1 or more customer exits. I don't know that. Let me execute this. When I execute, it is showing me only one exit. It is showing the description as user exit, but it is not user exit. It is customer exits. Remember, it is customer exit. SAP has not modified this. Okay, so it is customer exit. SAP MF02D. So once I got the customer exit name, what I have to do? Go to the T code what? SMOD. Why we have to go to SMOD? Because I need to check the components of the customer exit, and I need to read the documentation. Why we have to read the documentation? By reading the documentation, we will get an idea whether it suits our requirement or not. So I'll go to what? SMOD T code. Done. It is asking me the enhancement name. Enhancement name is nothing but what? Your customer exit name. What is the customer exit name? We identified SAP MF 02D. So let me provide that enhancement name. That is customer exit name SAP MF 02D. Done. Now I'll choose what? Components. Why I'm choosing components? Because my requirement is what? We need to check, we need to impose what? Additional validation. So for imposing this validation, what type of customer exit I want? Function exit I want. Function exit is used for what? Imposing what? Additional validation. That is the reason. That is the reason I'm checking for what? Components. I'll click on what? Display. So when I click on display, I'll just component. When I click on display, yeah, good. You can see it. This customer exit contains only what? Function exits. As I told you earlier, a customer exit can be associated with what? Function exit, menu exit, or screen exit, or either all the things or either of the things, any of the things. So in this case, this customer exit has got only what? Function exit. Below you can see we have something called as function codes. This is related to menu exit, so ignore it for the timing. And this is related to screen exit. We don't know anything about this thing, just ignore it. But as of now, what you have to understand is this customer exit contains only what? One function exit. Only one function exit. Function exit. A function exit is always associated with a function module. A function exit is always associated with a function model. So what we have to do with this function model, we'll understand shortly. Done. Now, okay, so I came to know that this customer exit has got one function exit, but I don't know whether this function exit is suitable for my requirement or not. Okay, so only by looking at this, we cannot tell whether it suits our requirement or not. What you have to do is, we have to read the documentation. Sometimes, even after reading the documentation also, we may not get the clear picture whether it is suitable for our requirement or not. So let me try to, what is the description they gave you? See, customers, user exit for checks prior to what? Saving. User exits for performing the checks prior to what? Saving. So what you have to understand is, prior to saving what? Before saving the customer in the SAP system, it is going to do some checks itself. So understanding is what? This function exit is triggered when you are trying to save a customer. It is going to perform some checks. To do some checks, this function exit can be used. Okay, by reading at this description, still I didn't got much information. Let me go back. Let me check whether in documentation is available. I'll choose documentation, display. Okay, so you can see here user exit for customer master. It is not user exit, remember, it is customer exit only. Okay, description. The following user exits exist for what? Customer master record. What is the description they gave here? Check entered data before saving. So by looking at this documentation, I understood that this function exit is used to perform the checks before saving the customer. What else they provided here? Please refer to the interface description. Please refer to the interface description of the function module to see which data is available. So what they are saying is, you try to check the signature of the function module to understand what parameters are available in that particular function model. So my requirement is what here? My requirement is I need to check, I need to make industry key as mandatory for what?